We got other college football notes. Man, we got so many topics on the table. We'll probably be here till Saturday morning. Go ahead.
Transfer portal. I see San Diego State at the top of the list.
Yeah, boys, a lot of stuff going on at San Diego State. Sean Lewis confirmed this week, a year ago when he took the job, if you came to him and said, I wish to enter the transfer portal, he'd say, thank you. You're no longer part of the program. Good luck to you. He's changed his mind. He is now willing to talk further to players. He's tried to lure players back. He's just brought back Jordan Napier, the top wide receiver who was going into the portal. He changed his mind. Now we got word on Thursday morning that Danny O'Neal, the freshman quarterback, and this really bothers me, is evidently going into the portal. I've been able to check, but I've not seen his name in the areas that I go to get confirmation on the portal yet. But I got to believe it's happening because guys are getting tampered with by everybody. If that happens, I'm disappointed for Sean Lewis because he made a commitment to develop this kid. I think this kid owes this head coach a longer stay at San Diego State. Now, it may well be this is all finances. And somebody who's representing Danny O'Neal may come back and say this school has offered him this financially under the NIL banner. Can you upgrade it? Maybe they'll do that. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But I was kind of stunned when I got word that Danny O'Neal was headed to the transfer portal. San Diego State has started something new to raise more money. I wish them well. I hope it would work. I don't know that it can. They've started what's called Link 619. It's under the Aztec link to raise money for NIL. They're asking fans, friends, alums, former players, $619 each. They're trying to raise over 1,000 commitments for $619 each to help fund Aztec football. I don't know what kind of response they're going to get because the fans, friends, and alums don't go to the games now. And even with the advent of Aztec fast offense and what Sean Lewis had hoped to bring, nobody showed up. At the end of the season, they had their last two home games. They drew just over 12,700, just over 10,700 their last two home games. I just don't know what kind of response they're going to get from the alums who just don't seem to have put their arms around Aztec football. So we got that. Think about this. If Danny O'Neal exits, they'd already lost the backup quarterback, Javance Johnson. They lost the third quarterback, A.J. Duffy, who never got on the field and got suspended at the end of the season and is gone. That's all three top quarterbacks are gone. Now, they're active. I've been told there's a running back from Louisville, pretty good player, is coming on campus to visit tomorrow. I'm told that they're making contact with other veteran quarterbacks to try to get somebody in here. But if he has to go back to square one with brand new quarterbacks because the top three guys are gone, I just don't know how they're going to make any progress. So we got that situation. Meanwhile, Colorado State. Now, we thought a couple weeks ago when Sean Lewis started talking about we're getting tampered with, we need to have compensation from the Division I schools to take our best players. Jay Norvell lost his mind in Fort Collins this week. He held a press conference just to talk about the transfer portal. And the Colorado State coach, who's pretty verbose, he tells you what he thinks, whether you like it or not. Jay Norvell went public and said, I have confirmation that my top 26 players have been tampered with by player agents who are promising them deals if they'll transfer out of Colorado State. He says this is not how the NIL and the NCAA is supposed to operate. And he said these people are coming. They came after his quarterback, Braden Nicolosi. And Nicolosi last year was tampered with and stayed at Colorado State, had another great season. And they came after him again. And they offered Nicolosi money and said, if I can get you $100,000, let me be your representative, and I'll take that offer, and I'll go somewhere else and see if I can get you 150 or 200. And Jay Norvell, the coach, said agents are charging these kids 10 to 15% of the NIL money. He says if you went to the NFL as a quarterback, the agent only gets 3%. He says that what's going on right now in college football is so out of control and so unconscionable, taking kids playing one offer off the next offer and then taking a big chunk of that kid's money. He says it's unconscionable. So he was really upset. I saw a chunk of the press conference and said, wow, yeah, that was pretty strong stuff. Speaking of that, Southern Cal, Lincoln Riley, national reputation, 8-5 last year, 6-6 this year, going to a substandard bowl game. It's not USC football. He's got 12 guys in the portal already. USC has lost its quarterback, Miller Moss, has lost its top returning running back, Quinn Joyner, lost one of its top receivers, Deuce Robinson, just lost Bear Alexander, the star defensive tackle. Top 3 offensive linemen have all gone to the portal. Nobody wants to play for Lincoln Riley, or maybe it's just I'm taking the best money I can get and go. 12 from USC are gone. UCLA has lost the quarterback that was supposed to be their starter this coming year, Justice Miller. They lost their top running back, TJ Harden. They just lost their top 2 receivers, Lugo and JT Sturdivant. UCLA's got 13 guys in the portal. This thing is so out of control. And doesn't seem to be any resolution to stop the bleeding in college athletics. One really good note, Holiday Bowl. They always get good matchups. This game is going to take 4.5 hours to play. Syracuse versus Washington State. It's going to be a really dynamic Holiday Bowl right after Christmas. Syracuse has the leading passer in the country in terms of yardage, Kyle McLeod, from Ohio State starter. He throws for a ton. McLeod comes, leads the Syracuse Orange in here. Washington State's got their do-everything, run around, throw the football quarterback, Johnny Mateer. We saw him when Washington State beat San Diego State. So, hey, congrats to the Holiday Bowl people. They find a way to bring 2 vibrant teams offensively in here. That's the calling card of what the Holiday Bowl is. So, John, you're going to solve the Aztecs' problems. You want to talk about SC, UCLA? Go ahead.
Well, I want to talk about the Holiday Bowl first. I'm curious to see how the Holiday Bowl and the other sort of mid-tier bowl games do in the new world of a 12-team playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And are they going to be able to fill up, Snapdragon Stadium? Are the fans going to travel? Will people care? I mean, the players and their families will care, but I mean, what do you think?
Pacific Northwest, Washington State's got hardcore fans that they show up in the cold and the snow and all that. So I think there'll be a bunch from Washington State coming down here. And as always, San Diegans will go because that's tradition here, and you always see a good show. And where would you rather be at this hour with lake effect snow in Syracuse, New York?
Yeah.
Area code 315.
Yeah, the Syracuse people want to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Now? Is it time to go now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So I hope to draw the 32,000. Well, this is going to be a dynamic matchup, and they're on TV by themselves. There's nobody against them.
Oh,
and
wow.
you got Kyle McLeod, who he throws the hell out of the ball, and Washington State's quarterback, Johnny Mateer, he's just all over the place. He's kind of a fun watch.
The other comment is that the college players are getting agents. I didn't know that. That was a new piece of information.
Representatives, lawyers, and agents.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. This thing is, what's your take if Sean Lewis actually loses all 3 of his quarterbacks?
I don't know, but apparently one of the inbound guys, the high school kids, is supposed to be really good.
Long Beach.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be so hard trying to build a roster. It's like herding cats. And the minute you think you got one, you lose 2 out the back door. I mean, I don't know how in the hell these guys do it. They got
to get this thing under control, but right now it's out of control. I was really hopeful that Sean Lewis was going to stop the hemorrhaging and the bleeding, the loss of these players. But now the guys that he's recruited are vacated. I mean, if he loses Danny O'Neal, it's a setback. I think Danny O'Neal owes Sean Lewis another year as a starting quarterback.
I always kind of thought of those 2 guys as kind of a package deal.
They were.
So it's surprising that O'Neal, I mean, allegedly, we haven't fully confirmed it. If he is leaving, I mean, that's big news.
Unless a representative comes back and said, "Can you give us more money in the NIL?" And maybe Sean Lewis will be able to find some more money. But they're really limited. That's a big problem, I think.
Did you see the stack ranking of the Mountain West Conference and all the NIL money?
Yeah.
The Aztecs are at the top of the list, but it's still small numbers.
They're at the top of the list in football, but nowhere near what Aztec basketball has.
That was one of my questions too. Does each team have their own NIL bucket, or does it all go into one bucket that's spread across all the sports?
Each program has its own bucket.
Interesting.
Sean Cole, the new baseball coach at San Diego State, is trying to leverage relationships with major league players, including Aztec alums, to give back to the program so he can build an NIL pot for Aztec baseball. But each program has its own.
Interesting.
That's where we are.